How's it going, YouTube? It's George from More Life Studios, and today I'm going to be bringing you along to print 50 of these sweatpants. The customers wanting a pocket logo and a leg print, so 2 prints on each garment. And I'm going to be showing you the full process, start to finish of DTF, from the computer work to actually printing. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's jump on the computer and get the designs ready for print. So most of the time you get sent logos, they're not going to be ready to print. You think they are, but I always suggest turning it into an SVG. And today I'm going to show you how to turn it into an SVG using Illustrator, and then we can put it in Photoshop and turn it into a TIFF file. If you haven't seen how to turn stuff into a TIFF file, I'll pop my last video up in the corner and you can go check it out and see how I make TIFF files to get ready to print for DTF. So let's open up the main logo. We're going to be doing a double print, one on the top of a pant and one on the leg of a pant. So firstly you want to download Adobe Illustrator, so we'll open it up in Illustrator. So I was looking at this earlier and I don't know what's going on with all these little parts in it. It's really a bad quality logo. It's not a bad logo, it's bad quality. But we're gonna turn it into an SVG. So firstly what we're going to do is highlight it, and then you want to come down to image trace. The computer is going to automatically image trace it for you. Mostly this is down to the computer really, there's not too much work involved unless you have to trace a logo from scratch, and to be honest I don't really trace that much from scratch, so we're going to go image trace. Mainly if it's a coloured logo you want to use low fidelity photo, but we're going to try and do black and white logo as it's just black and white. Let's go image trace, black and white logo. So as you can see it's already done a pretty good job. That is very good. So sometimes that's how simple it is. Sometimes I like to go into this little box here and play with the threshold a bit, and just it brings out more detailing. The more you turn this up, the more detail it'll bring out. So let's turn it up and keep turning it up. So can you see how I've turned it up now and it looks pretty bad? So we're going to just turn it back down and just get it to where we like it. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I want to turn that up a bit more. Honestly, that is pretty good. We can fix these little sharp edges around here. So what we're going to do is go down to expand, and now we can click just below the select tool and we can fix these sharp edges here, so we can move this node in and straighten these out. Pull this out a bit and just straighten them out. Some arms it's just about playing with the logo till you get it right. Sometimes when you get sent a really bad quality image it's super hard and you'll be messing about with it for hours. Sometimes I'll mess about with it in Photoshop as well if it's too hard to do in Illustrator. What I do suggest, if you play with the logo and it's impossible, you've tried everything, especially when you're starting out, you can outsource the logo to someone and just pay someone to digitize it. You might be able to find someone on Fiverr or if you contact me, I also have contacts that can digitize the logo for you for pretty cheap. So move that out there. So what we've done is, once we've pressed release, we've sort of ungrouped it. It's all in its own sections, as you can see. So we can click on the background and just delete it. And then we can highlight the logo. And I like to drag it off here, just so it's out the white and I can get a better look at it. So as you can see, it's pulled all the white along with it, and we don't want the white, we just want the black. So we're going to click on our select tool again, and we're going to click on the white and just delete it. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. So now what we're going to do is select, go on to the main select tool. We're going to highlight the full image, go file, then export selection, and then we are going to go to this little file icon, and now we can choose where to save it. So we're in our folder that it needs to be saved in. We're going to press select folder, and you want to come down here and make sure this is an SVG. Make sure it's not on PNG because it's not going to be scalable. You want to make sure you are on SVG. So let's click SVG and then press export. Let's go to the leg print. Now open with Photoshop. So it's loaded in. We don't have the background on it, which is good. So we go image, image size. So now you need to know what size, so just give me a moment so I can go grab a ruler. So since this is a leg print, I think we're going to go 10 inches. I hope you can see that. I just measured my leg and just went off that. So let's do 10 inches. And make sure you're on 300 DPI. I went through this in my last video. So if you need any help, just go back to my last video where I explain it more in detail. And we're going to press OK. And now we can go to our actions. Window actions. And we can just turn it to button mode. So these actions automatically put spot colours on, spot colour being the white. I have a previous video explaining everything about these and where you can buy them. So we're going to go CMYK spot colour no choke, press OK, and it's going to automatically save the TIFF file for us. So we're going to go leg print 10 inches. And then just name it TIFF so I know which one's a printable file. Press OK, OK. And it's just that simple. So now let's move on to the next one. So we're going to go to Mogami main print, open with Photoshop, OK. So image, image size. So this is going on the leg just next to the pocket, so I think we're going to do maybe a 3.5 wide print, 3.5 inches wide. I maybe might do 4, but I'll print a test print and send it to the customer and get them to sign off on it. So no worries here. Press OK. And then we're going to come to CMYK, spot color, no choke. Press OK. OK. Tomogamy, we'll change this to pocket. Logo. And we done 3.5 inches. And then just name it TIFF so we know where we are, and press OK. And that's how easy it is. So as you can see, I've got my 2 TIFF files. So yeah, now let's get on to printing. Any questions, or if you want more information on how spot colors work and how to put them on in Photoshop, check my last video. It's real helpful. I'll pop it up again in the left hand corner. So yeah, let's get back to printing. So now we've got the designs ready for print. I just want to talk a little bit about the preparation that I've done today to get ready to print. So I'm printing in a basement, and usually it's very humid down here. So a thing that I've recently learned is you want to stay between 40 and 60% humidity in your shop to get the best prints. Because recently I ran into a problem where the DTF powder was actually sticking to the film, and because I've got an automatic process of the baking of the transfers, I was getting unnecessary DTF powder stuck to the transfer paper, and that would transfer onto the t-shirt, and I didn't like that at all. So yeah, I looked into how to get humidity right in the shop. So we're looking at 49%. We started off around basically 70% today, so I've had that running all day really, and it's just a dehumidifier. You can go on Amazon and get one for like 200 Canadian dollars. So I'll just show you it quick. So yeah, this is the dehumidifier. It just sucks up all the water out the air in the room. So yeah, I'd definitely invest in one of them. So now the humidity is right in the shop, we're gonna fill our white ink up, and we're also gonna stir it up. So we're just gonna unscrew our white ink, and we're just gonna fill the white ink up. Try not to get everywhere. Normally it ends up happening. And a trick that I can show you is if you let the white ink sit, it's going to separate. So there's 2 chemicals in it, and they'll both separate, and you're not going to get like a solid white when you print. So invest in one of these coffee stirrers and just put it in the ink and just give it a whisk. So that just ensures that all the ink mixes. And then I just have a jug of water, and I just keep that next to the printer so I can just quickly clean off the whisk. It just saves me lots of time. And then just screw our cap back on. So now we've got our humidity right and our white ink stirred up, we can jump back onto the computer and insert our images into Rin software, basically the controller of the printer, and then we can shoot that off to the printer and it'll print our transfers. So yeah, let's do that. So now we can drag our designs into Rin software, but firstly we need to open the Better Printer app, just so our printer can connect to it, and then we can minimize this, open Rin. I don't have my USB in, that's why it come up with that message. So firstly we're gonna drag our color flag in, just so our colors print properly. If you don't have this, you can get this in the action steps pack, from our last video. And then we're going to go to our logos, search the logo we're currently working on. So we're going to highlight both of them and drag them in, press OK. So yeah, the white's pretty hard to see here. So we're going to try and get the maximum out of our sheet of DTF transfer paper. So I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, and I'll just drag the logo down here for now. And then we're going to highlight it, Control C, just multiple times. $16 times. So we can do that. 369, so 50 divided by 9 is 5. So duplicate this 5 times. 2, 3. So then what I like to do is highlight them all and come down to this button here, horizontally center. This pushes them all in the middle of a page, so you're not going to have any hangovers from the side. And then don't forget to come down to this button here and mirror flip them, because if you don't mirror flip them, they're going to print out backwards, and you don't want that. It'll be a waste of time and paper. So as you can see, we're backwards. So yeah, now we can jump back onto the printer. So now we've got our prints already in our software, and we can run it to the printer. We'll just give our ink a quick check. It's always good to check before, just in case you're low. We're not printing colour and we've already topped the white ink up, but you might be printing colour, so always check. And yeah, let's fire up the oven and the printer. So we just fired up the oven in the printer, so the oven's going to start heating up. That's all the red light. And now we need to pull our film from the printer onto our wheel so we can have an automatic process. So if you've never seen one of these before, this basically is just an automatic oven. So instead of shaking the DTF powder, this thing does it for me. I don't have to touch it. I just hit print and it goes. So yeah, if you're doing big orders, I suggest you look into a DTF oven and shaker. If you've got one of these DTF ovens, keep a little bit of transfer paper spare, because it comes in handy. Instead of rolling all the transfer paper through and wasting it, we can roll it through without wasting any. Just watch me set it up, it might make sense to you as I do it. So get a stapler and you can staple the sheets together. So instead of reeling all the DTF transfer paper through and wasting so much of it, what I do is staple it all together. so I'm not going to have any waste, and I'll just keep reusing the same transfer paper so I'm not wasting any. So I'm going to start adding DTF powder to this section, and then I can slowly start spinning the wheel so it starts letting DTF powder out. So yeah, the designs are coming out pretty nice. So I just edit the way I place the designs on the sheet on Rin software, because as you can see, I try to squeeze too many on the page. So yeah, avoid trying to squeeze as many on as possible, because I just learned the hard way just right there. So yeah, some arms you've just got to be not so tight with the amount of space you're using and just accept wasting a bit more DTF transfer paper. So recently I've been wearing this mask just due to the fumes in the shop. I don't have one of them fumes extractors, so I might invest in one of them soon. But for now, the mask will work. It's a cheaper option until we have enough money to invest in a fume extractor. But I've got one question for you. Who do I look like in the mask? Just drop a comment down below if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
But it's like 9 o'clock here, so I'm gonna tidy up the shaker and oven. I just like to keep it clean just so it runs it the best it can and I'm not clogging it up with old DTF powder. So I'm gonna clean that, and then I will see you guys tomorrow and we can press the rest of the tracksuit bottoms. So it's the next day and we're about to press.
Yeah, I'm aware that a lot of you niggas don't like me, but I don't care.
So it's the next day and we're back in the shop and we're just getting ready to press the tracksuit bottoms. So I've got them all beside me. We're just gonna fire them off. We're gonna give them a 5-second press. Then we're gonna put the transfer on, press again, rip it off, then press for another 15 seconds. So I'm just letting the press heat up to around 305 Fahrenheit. So we're gonna print the pocket logo first, or press it I should say. So we can just cut them all up. I just do it with a pair of scissors. So them are now cut up. What we can do is start stacking our sweatpants here and taping them all up. So I think this is where we're going to go with the placement. I hope you can see that. So the method we're going to go with is put them on the bench, and I'm going to pull the pocket out so I can get an even press. So let's pull the pocket out. Grab the logo. I thought I cut them all out, but I must have missed one. And we can grab our ruler and go 5" from the top. And a hack I like to use is I like to use the old transfer tape until it gets non-sticky, and then I replace it. It just saves on time. It saves me lots of time. And then from that logo we can go down 3 inches and put it all the way nearly to the end. And then just use the same transfer tape. And then just give it a quick check before I put them on. Straighten up that logo. And if I zoom you in on the press now. So I'm gonna put the shorts in. And put them all the way to the back of the press. Just making sure there's nothing gonna hold them, obstruct it, then give them a press. The reason I'm doing this is so the pocket is sticking out the back of the press and I can get a very even press on the transfer. It might take longer, but it's definitely going to ensure that the transfer is going to stick to the garment like as best as it can. And then just give it a wipe. So we press for 15 seconds. And then we just give it a good massage, get the transfer in there. And this transfer paper I'm using seems like it's better as a hot peel, so I'm not going to let it cool down too much. And then flip the transfer paper back over and then press for another 15 seconds. And as you can see, we're at about 305 Fahrenheit. And then we can just pull. Just give it a massage. Be pretty firm with it, try and work it into the fabric. And now we can peel it. Take the transfer paper off and then flip the transfer paper and then press. The reason why I use the transfer paper again is if you're just using a Teflon sheet, I guarantee there's going to be wrinkles in the Teflon sheet, and then when you're done pressing you'll see the wrinkles in the DTF transfer from the Teflon sheet. So these the garments have come out pretty nice. So I'm just going to fast forward for the rest of the video on me pressing the rest of them. I've got like 45 left to do. We finally got the order complete. To be honest, it was pretty easy. We didn't run into any problems really. But yeah, this is the navy pair, which came out pretty nice. And this is the black pair. This is my favorite. I'm a fan of black myself. And the prints came out pretty clean. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the customer's going to be very happy. So I am going to be shipping this order by the bus. The town it's going to is like 2 hours and 45 minutes away. And it's actually cheaper to put it on a bus and send it as a package than it is to mail the item. So here's a video of me taking it to the bus depot to put onto the bus.
Burning down inside of you. Finding
So yeah, we just sent it on the bus there. So yeah, let's jump back to the studio and finish off the video. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and drop a like down below. I'd appreciate it very much. It'll help us grow the channel. And if you want me to do a future video on something that you're struggling with, or just any fun video ideas, let me know in the comments below. It's George from More Life Studios. Catch you in the next one.